Welcome everybody. Just letting everybody come in. All right. You ready to get started, Ellen, you think?
Absolutely.
Great. Welcome everyone. Just to note that the session is being recorded and will be posted with the slide deck on the conference website when we're through, probably tomorrow. My name's Courtney Larson. I'm the program manager for ATE at the American Association of Community Colleges. On behalf of ACC, I'd like to welcome you and thank you for joining us today. We're excited to welcome you to Washington, D.C. next month for the ATE conference. It's our hope that this meeting will help orient you to the conference, help you to maximize your time while attending the conference, and answer any questions you might have prior to the event. My colleague Ellen Haas, Associate Vice President of Academic Affairs, is pictured here on the screen. She's the master of ATE and has run this conference for many years. And I'd like to ask her to come on and introduce herself.
Oh, hi all. As Courtney said, I'm Ellen Haas. We're very excited to have you joining us in October. We're going to be a small informal group, so we have a couple question breaks through this brief presentation, and we're happy to engage with you on camera or through chat, however you'd like to ask questions. And congratulations, and again, we're excited to welcome you to Washington, D.C. in October. Thanks, Courtney.
Thank you. Okay, this is what we're going to cover today. We've broken the agenda down into the following sections, and we'll also have breaks to address the questions. For your reference, we will provide an ATE conference overview, which will give you a general conference background, registration, hotel, and travel information, and an overview of ATE student events, where we will go over student participation in student events at the meeting and address other commonly asked conference questions. Before we get started, I want to get a sense of how many of you have been to our nation's capital by just doing an informal show of hands, if you have your cameras off, or you can just use the electronic hands. DC has become popular again for visiting, so we're really excited after the pandemic that people are coming back. Let's see, great. Great. All right. I think it's going to be a new experience for a lot of you, and I'm excited for you guys to come and experience Washington, D.C. The city has a lot to offer, and it's a beautiful month. October is the most perfect month to visit Washington, D.C. for sure. All right. The ATE conference overview. In this section, we'll cover the what, when, where, and who, and why of the event. What is it? So just in case you were wondering, just what is ATE? ATE stands for the Advanced Technological Education, and all of your programs of study are funded by AT grants from the National Science Foundation. This conference is called the Advanced Technological Education Principal Investigators Conference, which is referred to as ATE-PI conference, or ATE conference for short, because it's a lot of words. So what exactly is PI? PI stands for Principal Investigator. This is a term used to describe a project director for a grant. The ATE conference is a national professional development and networking event for PIs leading ATE grants and their project partners. And it was the project PI working in your program of study that nominated you to attend this event. The conference is co-sponsored by the National Science Foundation and the American Association of Community Colleges, and is primarily funded through a grant to AACC. For those of you who may not be familiar with AACC, we are a primary advocacy organization for the nation's community colleges, representing nearly 1,200 two-year colleges across the U.S. and their 12 million students. AACC has been working with NSF to host the annual ATE conference for the past 31 years. Last year, we celebrated the 30th anniversary of the ATE program. This year, we are focused on innovating for the future. Where is it and when is it? The conference is held in Washington, D.C. metro area and typically takes place every year in October. The dates for the 2024 ATE conference are October 23rd through 25th, and the conference will be held at the Omni Shoreham Hotel. This is an actual picture of the hotel, which is a beautiful historic property near downtown DC and is conveniently located on the red line of our Metro line system and is within easy walking distance to a number of area restaurants and shops. Following this orientation, AACC will distribute a student's guide to DC to accompany the student schedule events for the conference. That information includes an area restaurant list, maps, and other information helpful to navigating DC. Who attends? Approximately 800 to 900 people attend the conference each year. Participants include those leading grants for AT projects and centers and their grant partners from business, industry, secondary schools, and four-year institutions. The conference also provides the opportunity for approximately 50 students to attend, of which you are a part. NSF program officers and AACC staff attend, as well as select guests representing the federal government and STEM-related nonprofits and associations. Why attend? In addition to the benefit of attending as described in this quote here, the ATE conference provides an opportunity for you to meet other students, learn about new technologies, learn about various STEM career fields, as well as provide you the opportunity to learn from ATE leaders and industry representatives firsthand. The conference will also hopefully give you a chance to see DC and tour the city while you're here. Now on to the conference costs and understanding who pays for what in terms of your attendance. For students, AACC will cover the conference registration fee and 3 nights of lodging. All other expenses will be covered by your respective institution or by your sponsoring ATE grant. If you have not already done so, you should discuss airfare, ground transportation, and meal expenses with your PI. The majority of students travel with their PIs, therefore airfare and ground transportation to and from the airport are covered. But if you are not traveling with your PI or another grant team member, you should talk with your PI on how ground transportation will be covered. To help you with planning for your expenses, ACC will provide the following meals during the conference: dinner on Wednesday evening, breakfast and lunch on Thursday, and breakfast on Friday. Please note you will need to pay for any additional meals outside of what is offered at the event. Now we will talk about hotel accommodations, registration, and student activities. All students must complete the online 2024 ATE Student Information Request form to make hotel reservations. This link was provided in your acceptance notice, as well as in the reminder for this meeting. Please do not make your own reservations. If you have already done so, do not cancel your reservation. Just be sure to include that confirmation number on the student information request form. This will allow us to instruct the hotel to code your existing reservation to our account and ensure your room is covered by AACC. As stated before, AACC will cover 3 nights of lodging. If you plan it to come in early or stay following the event, you'll be responsible for any additional nights. The rate for the additional room nights is $285 per night. The Omni extends the group rate based on that availability for up to 3 days before and 3 days after the conference dates. When you do fill out the student form, please include all of the nights you're going to stay if you're planning to tack on a little vacation before or after. When checking in, be aware that you'll have to provide a credit card to cover any incidentals that you may acquire while at the hotel, such as room service or TV fees, things like that, as you are responsible for paying any incidentals. Please note that the Omni will place a hold on the card in the amount of $100 per day at check-in to cover any potential charges to the room. Pay particular attention to this if you were using a debit card, which would actually deduct those funds from your account. When you check out, the hotel fees will be refunded or released, depending on whether or not you charged anything to the room, but it can sometimes take up to 7 business days after checkout to reimburse for the incidental hold. If you are concerned about credit card or debit card holds for incidentals, please check in with your project PI on how to handle this when checking into the hotel. Also, be sure to confirm with the front desk when you check in that your room is being charged to the AACC master account. If you have any problems, come straight to the ATE conference registration desk and we will get you squared away before you check out. After you get settled, when you check into the hotel, you'll want to come to the West Wing where you can register for the conference. There'll be lots of signs directing you to the registration. This will allow you to pick up your badge and get a program. We'll also have a hard copy of the student schedule events and student guide to DC. I will be at the registration desk for most of the conference, so please come to say hello. Please note that by signing in, you give ACC permission to use your photo within ACC publications or media that promotes and shares information on the ATE program. Now, we just went over quite a bit of information, so I want to take a moment and answer any questions or comments. Ellen, have you seen any questions in the chat?
None so far. I know you're just covering logistics and then we're going to move to student events. But if there are any questions on logistics, feel free to input into chat or just come on, come on camera and relay your question.
Does anybody have any questions at this time?
We do have one question. Marcelo?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I wanted to ask, since you were mentioning that our name and card would be used for the room itself, and that the convention will be covering it, I wanted to know, will the charge on our cards be for the entirety of the stay, including the down payment, or just the down payment? Or, forgetting the right word, but
The
the security
incidentals.
charge.
Yes. Yes, it's just for the incidental. So it's a flat $100 hold. It's not an actual, it might appear as an actual charge, but it's one of those charges that goes away. So, but it will just be for that. It won't be for the entire fee.
Yeah, the room and tax for the night will go to our ACC's account, so that will never hit your credit card. If you check in and it's showing that you owe a balance, that if you go to registration, we'll make sure that's removed before you check out. But all the students go over on our rooming list, so you are assigned to the master account from the beginning. So it's just for the incidentals, as Courtney said.
Yeah.
So there's a question on what is the policy on guests and what activities they can participate in. Courtney, I don't know if you want to handle that or you want me to.
You can if you would like, since you're speaking.
Sure.
Yeah.
So actually we need more information because we typically don't, you are welcome to bring a guest to DC and they're welcome to be with you during the downtime. But the conference registration is just for you and the events are just for you as well. If it is a parent in some cases or a partner, we can allow them to come to the student poster session. So just so they can see your poster. But this isn't, a conference that's open to bringing a lot or accommodating a lot of guests. So, and then in terms of for double rooms to students that come together, will get the same room, or is there a possibility to be paired with a different person? You are not required to share rooms. You indicate that on the information form, the online information form. If you would like to share a room, you would indicate who you want to share a room with, and we will put you with that person. We would never assign you to someone you did not designate that you wanted to be in a room with. But again, you're not required to share rooms. You're welcome to have your own room, or if you prefer to share, you would just designate who you want to share a room with.
Right. Yes, you can email us regarding your guests and we can let you know about the student poster session access.
Yes. So email us about that. Typically it's more that people will need badges to get into sessions and it is a ticketed event. But as I said, if it's a parent or a partner or something of that nature, somebody just wants to see your poster, we can work with you on that. Okay. So there's a question on where we sign in. So I don't know if that is for the actual information form. I can put that into chat momentarily. We can also follow up with email over that. So that came in an acceptance email, was the information form to actually register for the event and indicate your hotel.
And at the event, you just go to registration to check in once you have checked into your hotel room.
All right, well, Courtney, I'm going to advance us so we can get through the rest of the slides, and then we'll have another question break at the end where we can address any additional questions.
Great. All right, so let's move forward and talk about the ATE conference activities for students. The ATE conference has a variety of session types on a variety of topics. It also features student speakers. For many, it is the first time presenting in a professional environment. A link to the program will be forwarded to students as soon as it's available online. Please take a look with your PI and identify sessions you want to attend and support fellow students. All these sessions are open to you. I just skipped. Oh, here we go. This is a photo of the informal student meet and greet. We will hold this year's meet and greet on Wednesday, October 23rd at 3:30 in the Blue Room. This gathering is only for students and is a great way to connect with other students. We serve light refreshments and give students the opportunity to introduce themselves, go over the student schedule of events, and answer any questions you may have. It is super informal. At the end of the meet and greet, students will set up their posters for the student poster session. And we will go over the poster session in more detail later in the presentation. And the meet and greet is actually in the same room as the poster session, so it's a very easy transition. ACC will host a special student-only student industry networking session on Thursday, October 24th from 9:30 to 10:30. This session is focused on providing students the opportunity to talk directly with business and industry leaders, to learn about career fields and the skills needed to be successful in the workforce. ACC will share more detailed information about this session with students prior to the conference. Please note on your registration form whether you would like to take part in the session so we have an idea of how many students will be attending. Students always love this session and it's a great way to start the day. As students, you will also attend a recognition breakfast being held in your honor. You will be presented with certificates recognizing your achievements in STEM by the National Science Foundation program directors. PIs are welcome to attend this breakfast with their students. The breakfast will take place on Friday, October 25th from 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. AACC also gives students the opportunity to go on a tour in DC. This year will be a tour of the recently renovated National Air and Space Museum, as well as an opportunity to see some of DC's monuments. Keep in mind there will be a lot of walking, so please be sure to wear comfortable shoes. Also, please be advised that if you're traveling with someone, such as a spouse, partner, or family member, unfortunately, they will not be able to accompany you on the tour as we only have space to accommodate our student participants and also due to liability reasons for the bus transportation. Please be sure to sign up for the tour on the student information request form if you're interested in going. It's a ticketed event. The form is due this Friday, September 20th. As mentioned previously, the ATE conference gives students an opportunity to participate in a student poster session and share information on their program of study and/or career field. As part of the participation, students are required to participate in the session. The poster session will be held on Wednesday, October 23rd from 7:15 to 8:45 in the Blue and Blue Pre meeting rooms, which are adjoined. Here's a more detailed schedule for the student poster session on Wednesday, October 23rd. Setup is from 4 to 4:30, and that's immediately following the meet and greet. The opening preliminary session and dinner starts at 5 to 7:15. The poster session is from 7:15 to 8:45. So students usually leave the preliminary session or the dinner a little bit early to get set up for the poster session. And students are asked to stand by their posters during this time. Poster teardown is from 8:45, 9, or immediately following the session. To help you prepare for this session, a poster session guide is available for download from the conference website, and a link was provided in the communications. Now on to the specifics of the poster. Each student will create a poster that is 32 inches high by 40 inches wide vertically, or 40 inches wide by 32 inches high horizontally. New this year, poster templates are available for download on our website. We encourage students to use these templates for size and presentation consistency across posters. As you can see in the pictures on this slide, posters are displayed side by side. So we want things to look as professional as possible so you have a great experience. Students from the same institution and project may elect to develop a joint poster presentation and display together. However, due to spacing and visibility concerns, ACC will allow no more than 2 students to jointly present a single poster. Students are encouraged to develop their own individual posters for display. ACC will provide push pins and adhesive for mounting the pre-printed posters to the display boards. During the setup period, from 4 to 4:30, students will hang up their posters. It takes no time at all, and it also gives students the opportunity to look at each other's posters before the event. Please note that posters must be pre-printed and transported to the event, as ACC will not have printing capabilities on site. Here's a screenshot of the poster templates provided on the student participant page of the conference website. All the templates are formatted in PowerPoint. Just select to download. The templates are a guide, and you can delete text and change font or headings as needed to describe your project, program of study, or career path. We hope these templates are helpful, and we're really excited that we have them this year. When you sign up for the poster session on the student information form, you will be asked to provide a short abstract that describes your poster. There are examples included on the student information form. Here is a sample of how the poster session abstracts will look in the conference program. Students will be assigned a poster session number that identifies your display board and where you should place your poster prior to the event. This slide shows some of the food events. Dessert, coffee, and non-alcoholic beverages will be provided during the student poster session. Buffets are provided at breakfast and lunch, and there are light appetizers at the ATE Connect sessions where ATE grants share about their projects. So lots of food. In this section, I will address common conference questions, and we'll go over conference attire, internet access, and contact information. The conference attire is business casual, and we suggest that you dress in layers, as the conference rooms can be cool. We also suggest you bring comfortable shoes, as there is a good deal of walking involved to get to some of the session rooms and the exhibit hall. Wireless internet access is available. ACC will provide the internet access code with your registration materials. Just a reminder that the student information forms are due Friday, September 20th. So if you have not already submitted your form, and half of you had, so thank you so much, I urge you to do so by the deadline. If you've already filled out the form and need to make any changes, please email me, Courtney Larson, directly. Here is my contact information. And if you have any questions about the conference, please don't hesitate to reach out. Now we've come to our final question break. This is a photo of a group of students who attended the conference last year in 2023. We'll take a group photo of your group at the end of the recognition breakfast. So we're going to open it up for questions now.
I'm going to stop sharing so we can see one another. So let's see if there's some questions in chat here. If our poster is 38 by 48, is that okay? We are trying to actually have all the posters be one size this year. That's why we are prescribing templates and having them printed. If it's something that you've already done and it's completely laid out, please let us know. But again, we're trying to have them all be one size, so your poster would be larger than others in a line. If I decide to stay at the hotel for 4 nights instead of 3, will the charge for the extra day be $285? Will I have to pay for this at the beginning of my stay? Courtney, do you want to handle that?
Sorry, I was reading. You will get the bill when you check out, but they'll tell you, we will cover 3 nights, and any additional room nights you will be responsible for, and it will go onto the card on file unless you specify otherwise. But the hotel will present a bill on the last day of your stay.
And then a question on where to get posters printed.
You have to print your poster before you arrive at the boot camp. A lot of people, just in the past, people have had no trouble printing their posters at home and rolling them up and carrying them on with them on the airplanes, etc. There's not a lot. There are like Kinkos and things like that around, but they're not super close or accessible. So it's much better if you print everything before you come so you don't have to worry about it and it's all set to go. Because we set up the very first day you arrive. And that's when the poster session is.
And we have a question on guests at the student recognition breakfast. The student recognition breakfast is just open to the students and their principal investigators or the faculty that sponsored them to attend.
Right.
My project had 4 people and we had been told only 2 of us can join. So wondering if that is for all of the programs. I'm not sure what that is in reference to. So that's perhaps something you can handle. You can, if you want to email us, or email Courtney to talk about that. We do say that projects will sponsor 2 students, but I don't know if this is in reference to the complete project ATE team or student team. So the best way to handle that, just email Courtney and we can talk to you about that specific case.
I just meant like because I know for tabling and stuff there's only have to be 2. So and there's like other like programs. So I was just wondering if they could join as a guest or would they be able to come like for like networking events or not? That was my question basically, like would they be able to join in any other programs throughout the day, or it's just for 2 of us it will be only available?
I guess again, I'm not understanding. There are 4 people on your grant that on the project. If they're all already coming to the conference?
So for us, because we're 4 people, they said that only 2 of us should sign because only 2 people in a project is allowed, something like that. So
yeah, there were the two students per project.
yes.
were allowed to attend and receive support for the conference. So if another 2 people were to come, that would involve a registration fee and paying for hotel rooms. So as I said, that's something if you want to email us or have the PI reach out to us, we can talk with you about. But we do, the student process is that there are 2 students per grant project that we provide support to, just so we can be equitable across all the projects that are attending. In some cases, if there are more students, it might be a situation where you could share rooms, but that's something that we would need more information on and are happy to, if you want to email Courtney, we're happy to follow up with you on that individually and see what we could work out.
Yeah, sure, I will, because they live here, so I don't think they will need any hotel room or stuff like
Oh,
that.
so they're local. Okay,
Yes,
definitely
they're
reach
local.
out and we'll see what we can do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay, so sorry, going down the list here. Can you take a train instead of fly? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That is up to you how you want to get here. Our poster can be about anything STEM related. There's no specific requirements for the topic. I'll just take that, Courtney, and then I'll pivot the next one. So we do have poster session guidelines that are on the website, and they are broad areas to consider. Some people are working on specific projects or doing undergraduate research, and they may want to do their poster on that. We've had people really just focus largely on their program in general and what they're studying and what they hope those outcomes would be. And we've had people focus on their career path. So as long as it's within the realm of STEM technician education, this is a program that's focused on STEM across the board, from biotech to IT to manufacturing. It is we keep it broad in terms of what you want to focus your poster presentation on in terms of your student experience, your education program, or your career goals. So you'll see the poster template has a lot of suggested wording, and it's more in the vein of an actual undergraduate research project. But again, you can delete that text and put in your own. It's just helpful to have a PowerPoint slide to input things into, as opposed to when we were asking people to create their own. We got various shapes and sizes and a lot of confusion. So it's a tool to help, hopefully. Okay. But in terms of guests, please email us and we can figure that out. Because again, this is not a conference where we would register people for the whole conference. But if you've got people that you would like to come see your poster, email us and we can work with you. Maybe it's a temporary badge, so we'll figure that out offline. And then Courtney, I don't know if you can read these. Do you want to address the one, the hotel stay?
The hotel stay, we cover 3 nights, so it really depends on your travel schedule. You know, some people coming from the West Coast may be coming in the 22nd and leaving the 25th. So again, just email us and we'll make sure that we cover the nights. But when we book the rooms, we're looking to cover 3 nights. So we're flexible with that based on your travel.
And are there any other questions? Because I know we're at time. If people have questions, we're happy to stay on a few minutes longer and address them. And we're also happy to address them over email as well, or phone, whichever you're comfortable with.
Yes.
Or Teams or Zoom.
Yes. We're very responsive over email specifically. So if you just think of things, we'll get back to you right away. We will post the recording and the slides on the website, and we will send out one of our emails that says when it's available and where to find it. You'll get lots of emails from me in the next month, so I hope you're ready.
Yeah, and this is a fun event. There's it's a great group of students. It's a really welcoming community. So, and again, the poster session is while we're trying to streamline the look of it, it's very informal in the sense that people just want to come up and talk to the students and hear about your experience. It's not a judged event. It's a it's a networking event. We put the dessert in there so people come to engage with you and to grab dessert. So it ends up being a really nice way to highlight all of the student attendees on the top of the very front end of the conference. And then I did see one question about hotel. Yes, we cover 3 nights. So if you are staying a 4th night, that would be your responsibility or the responsibility of your college or your project.
Yeah. So really talk to your PIs that nominated you, and they can help you with all the travel stuff. That's why they're there, and that's why they nominated you. So they're happy to help as well.
All right. Well, I don't know if making sure I saw Richard, there's a hand up. I don't know if that's a leftover hand or if you have a question.
No, I have a question about the abstract for the posters. Is there a word limit or a character limit on that?
We don't do a hard character limit, but they tend to be short. There are some actual descriptions on the website so you can see the length. Some people like to take a little bit more, so but you'll get a sense of it. We should post a suggested word count, so thank you, but it's not as long as it's not a full-on paragraph, it'll show you, so you'll get a sense. We posted 5 or 6 on the website.
Yeah, we posted some samples, so
so you get a sense of some are super formal research and some are a little bit more informal. And again, we want that to go with your personality and what you're wanting to share with attendees.
Great. Santa Fe is very thankful for all you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Well, we're thankful to have you. And yes, you're welcome to change the colors on the templates. Again, they're a guide. Yes. If you want to change the colors of the background, there's some, prefabricated backgrounds on some of them, but you are welcome to make them your own.
Yep. Just the size we're looking for. The general layout.
And Jacob, did you have a question?
Yes, I did. I had a question that more pertains to industry professionals. Who exactly will be there other than our PIs and people from NSF?
That's actually a really good question. It is primarily, so the conference is open to over 300 projects across the United States that are funded through the National Science Advanced Technological Education Program. So there are people that are leading projects in STEM disciplines across the board, from advanced manufacturing to cybersecurity to biotechnology. So it's the leaders of these grants, so that are all based at community colleges. So it's the community college professionals. In many instances, they're bringing their 4-year institution partners. We have some secondary school partners, and then we do have business and industry that attend that are working with these grants, because every single one of these grants has business or industry partners. This is a professional development event for those people leading the awards. So it is primarily the people that are leading these awards. It's their professional development networking event. But we do have industry attend, their presenters, and specifically for the student industry networking session, the presenters that are there that are industry, and then we bring in some local industry are coming in just to network with you. And you ahead of time will get a list of who's in that event. You'll get their LinkedIn, so you have an opportunity to follow up with them. But that's done kind of like speed dating, but it's speed networking, where you're sitting at these tables and you have like 15 minutes and then you rotate to the next one. So it's meant to get you a sampling, an opportunity to expand your network and make some connections with industry at the event.
Awesome. That's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. And Spencer, did you have a question?
I
Sorry,
did,
we're
yeah.
going long, folks. If you have to drop off, feel free. But if we can address some questions, we're happy to stay on for a little bit. Yeah, Spencer, I'm sorry.
I don't know what's up. Nothing wanted to work earlier. It always happens. So I saw the poster templates and I appreciate those a lot because I didn't know which direction to go. I saw there was a lot of data, and I was curious on if there was kind of a suggestion on what type of data that I could be kind of aiming for. So I've gotten some suggestions from a few people who I can talk to about it. And so I'm in the manufacturing industry, and I was thinking about kind of going towards more so rapid prototyping and basically things like that relating to the manufacturing industry. And I was somewhat thinking along the lines of different types and materials and whatnot, basically comparing them all. I don't know, maybe this is too much of a question. Would that be kind of something to be going over? Because data in my career field program is kind of a little difficult to get.
Sure. And that, again, we're happy to talk to you offline about this as well, but I wouldn't worry so much about having hard data in that regard. If you've got some wonderful, but again, that's really more, I'm running an actual project.
Yeah.
When it's focused on data in that regard. But if you've got some general statistics about what's happening in manufacturing that is relevant to what you're doing, I would include those, cite those, and not, again, you don't have, this isn't a dissertation or anything of that nature.
Sure.
So it's nice to get a flavor and context. If you've got a few data points that would support that, that's all that I think would be necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, I was
Sure.
I was curious what people were thinking because I was hearing a few different answers. So I wanted to hear another one. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, and again, there no two are alike. People,
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely,
kind of why we like this, because it's just a real, it's a very diverse array of perspectives, programs, projects, and what people are choosing to present on as in that STEM field.
Absolutely,
and
that's awesome. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. And I do see something about business cards, saw a lot of QR codes. There are people that have QR codes. That's something, if you want to have a QR code on your poster, that's a great thing for people to scan to get more information. Definitely be willing to connect with people on LinkedIn. If you yourself, just in networking throughout the conference, want to bring business cards or something of that nature, you're welcome to do so. That's up to you. But this is a wonderful event, not just to network with people at the business industry, but we have a much larger, wider session called AT Connects, where our projects and centers all come together and they're sharing information about their programs. So so say you're in the field of biotech, you would be able to go in, kind of like an exhibit hall. It's in the exhibit hall, but they're not exhibits. They're what we call conversation hubs, where there's a little bit of information about what's going on in community colleges across the country that are funded through this program in biotech, and you'd be able to kind of walk down and absorb all of that information. So there's a lot of opportunity to engage depending on what your interests are. Okay. Well, I don't know if I think I'm caught up.
Lots of great questions.
Lots of great questions. I will say, thanks to those that, hung on with us a little bit later, and sorry we've gone over, but, thank you for joining us as we get closer. If any questions arise, if you need some more ideas about your poster, again, there's no wrong answer with them, except we're just trying to get them all the same size this year. That's really the key thing. If you do that, we're good. Visuals, even if it's just, photos of what you're, doing in your field or your labs, those are or equipment, that's visuals are stunning as well. So just some things to think about. But again, this is not meant to be a heavy lift, but meant to be good for informational sharing purposes and for networking purposes for you. So Courtney, I've talked too much. So I'll let you close us out.
All right. We hope that you got a lot of information, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Be prepared for lots of emails.
Great.
And
Thank you all.
remember to fill out the student information form, please.
We'll follow
Thank
up with an
you.
email on that since I neglected to get that into chat. All right.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you all.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good one.
Have a good night.